Hello, I think this is working. It looks like I've got a couple people out there. Can you guys hear me okay? I have no idea what I'm doing. If there's anybody out there, can you jump in the chat and let me know if you can hear me? Oh, excellent. Okay, great. Thank you. All right, well, let's do this. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for jumping on. Looks like all one of you. That's cool. We can let people come in as they will. Let me get a little organized here. Meant to get a little bit more organized and ran out of time. I just barely got my kids to bed a few minutes ago and ran downstairs to get this going. All right, well, let's talk pedals. So I've got a couple things I wanted to talk about tonight. Greetings from the UK. Hello. Excellent. So it's early in the morning for you guys there, isn't it? All right. Well, so yeah, a couple things I wanted to talk about. I should have brought visual aids. I can grab some. Actually, let me grab my visual aids before I start talking. Hang on. Okay. So I apologize for the mess. I was gonna, shove things off to the side, and my wife suggested that would be, misleading, that people would assume that I'm actually organized and have things together, which I do not. So this is what Sushi Box headquarters looks like all the time, 24/7. I'm not going to pretend I'm organized. But all right. So one of the big things I'm going to be working on in the new year is until now, everything has been custom made to order in monthly batches, which has been working okay. And I appreciate all the support that I've been getting. But I've had a lot of people say that they would prefer to just have something ready to go, and that getting something fast is more important than getting something exactly custom the way they wanted. So I've been working with a supplier of enclosures. I tried to find somebody that would just build my pedals for me. And nobody does it. People do that, but nobody does it with tubes. So the closest I've found is I found somebody to do enclosures for me, and then I just get the circuit boards ready and throw them in. But I got a bunch of enclosures ready, and I've put a few together just to make sure that they all fit and look good. And I can show you a couple of them. So this is Slam Peg. So I mean, obviously I didn't change the enclosure styles, the artwork or anything, but these were drilled, powder coated, and printed in an outside factory, and then I just put them together when they got here. And then Glass Butterfly. I like how this one came out. So these, I like the look of the raw boxes, but these are actually powder coated in silver, which I think looks really nice, really clean look. And I love how this one came out, Dreamcatcher. This is I got a couple orders for this one already. You guys are going to love this one. It's such a great pedal. It's hard for me to pick a favorite pedal, but Dreamcatcher is one of my favorites. So the catch with this, it is going to be a huge time saver. So the enclosures is currently the number one. It's the biggest amount of time that builds take is getting the enclosures ready. So this is going to save a lot of time on that. Now, the caveat there, I'm only planning to do this for the SMD pedals. Hand-wired pedals will still be custom order only. So the way I'm planning to do this is basically I want to have a bunch of pedals in stock that are the SMD that are just ready to go. You can just jump on and order them whenever they're in stock, which hopefully will be more often than not. But then I also... And there's going to be some reorganizing of the website, but I'm going to have a separate section that's going to be the Sushi Box Custom Shop. And that's where it'll be like it is now, where you'll go in and you'll choose what pedal you want. You'll choose an enclosure style. You choose LED color, knob color, powder coat color. And when I do that, because I still have the in-stock builds, I'm going to be doing less custom orders per month, but I'm hoping to bring back a lot more options that I used to have. Because previously, when I first started, I was offering, I think, about a dozen different colors of powder coat. And I loved that option, but it took so much time, and which is why I stopped doing it. But where I do have these enclosures ready to go for the SMD builds, I'm hoping to bring in some more custom options, because I know that was something that, like, you guys have been so understanding that, like, I say this is taking up too much time, I have to stop doing it, and people say, well, that sucks, but I get it. And so I appreciate that people like those options, and so I want to be able to bring those options back. And I think this is going to be the best way for me to do it, where I have a lot of builds that are just going to be pre-made enclosures, and then I do, less builds where I can do things like pink sparkles. I know I've actually had a few people ask about pink sparkles. So that's one of the big things one of the big changes that I'm looking at, and I've been wanting to make this jump for a while. My original goal was to do it in June of this year, and obviously that didn't happen. And so it just kept getting pushed back and kept getting pushed back. And I finally was able to pull the trigger, and I have about 100 enclosures that are pre-finished and ready to go, just sitting on a shelf. So once the holidays are over, I'm going to get started on building those, because I found out once enclosures are ready, if I'm doing SMD builds, I can do about 10 pedals in a day. If I just sit down and and that's another thing, is if it's all the same pedal. So if I'm doing 10 underground accelerators, I can do 10 underground accelerators in a day if the enclosures are already done. But when I'm mixing SMD and hand wired and doing, 12 different models, then it takes a bit more time, because it feels more like one-offs. Whereas if I'm doing batches of something, I can do it a lot faster. So I'm trying to, I've always tried to keep everybody happy. So I'm trying to do things faster, but then also trying to do things more custom. And I feel like this is kind of the best way to do that. So that is big item number 1. Big item number 2, I don't think I have any great visual aids for that yet. But something that I have been working on, I guess I have the circuit boards, but they're not that exciting looking. But something that I've been working on for a little over a year now is, some of you guys probably know Tony Puleo from Talkbass, but also just, he's a killer bassist that plays with a lot of fabulous people. And I have been working with him on a custom, I guess, I don't know if I call it, if we want to call it his signature pedal, but basically it's the pedal that he wants me to make. So it's a signature pedal, right? But he has, he does a lot of gigs where he has to travel, and he does, you don't know what your backline is going to look like. And so you want to have something that's easy to pack around, just to kind of reduce the variables going into a gig. And so we're working on a preamp that we're calling it the Venus X preamp. I have no idea when it's going to be available, but we're shooting for a reveal, hopefully in time for NAMM is the goal that we're setting. But what it's going to look like is it's obviously going to be a tube preamp. We're looking at a 4-band active EQ, which I'm really excited about, because first of all, I haven't done any 4-band EQs, and second of all, I haven't done any active EQs. And so I really like how this one's coming out. It's a really flexible EQ that can get a lot of different sounds out of it that I'm really excited about. And then it's going to be 2 channels. I guess I'd call it 2 channels. So it's going to be a shared EQ between the 2 channels, but it is going to have, one channel is going to be just straight clean, and then the other channel is going to be, it's going to have more gain on tap, so it can get into overdrive, but you can also run it as just another clean channel as well, if you want to have 2 channels with just slightly different character. And then we're also looking at, it's going to have a speaker emulator. So you can go direct to front of house, and then it's also going to have a DI output with the Lightning Boy transformer that I've been using and have been really happy with. I'm not affiliated with Lightning Boy officially. I love working with him. I love using his stuff. He does fantastic stuff, and I think he does the best DI transformer out there. So it's going to be a really great preamp that I'm really excited about, and Tony's really excited about. So hopefully we'll have more visual aids that I can show you guys in the future. So that one's going to be really exciting. And I think that's pretty much it for that one. So those are the big things that I have coming. I know something that gets brought up on the forum a lot is Furthermore, which is going to be the, I guess, the successor to Finally. I guess the fancier DI. And a lot of people have been asking when that's going to happen. And it's probably going to happen after the Venus X is ready. So, because Venus X, it's been pushed to the back burner so many times that I need to finish it. So that's my number one R&D priority right now, is getting Venus X ready, and then Furthermore is really high up on my list. And then I have another project. Every now and then, like, I just kind of come up with projects on accident, and there's one. I just kind of started on it a couple weeks ago. So the working title right now is Bento Box. I don't know how much I want to disclose on that one yet because it's still so raw. Because it's sushi. But that one's going to be cool too when I get around to that. And I have no idea what I'm going to want to do. That would be cool. But alas, I have to work my day job and I have to sleep sometimes. So Venus X, Furthermore, Bento Box. What else do I have in the line?